Presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu speaking at the grand finale of the APC's rally that was held in Lagos at the Teslim Balogun Stadium yesterday. As you could see, he was flanked by his running mate, Kashim Shettima, as well as Speaker of the House of Representatives and also the President of the Senate, and also party stalwarts were there. Undeniably, we saw the crowd, the mammoth crowd present at the stadium yesterday, Sam. A lot of persons, well, they were here and there. Some said with regards to the Naira crunch and all of it, they didn't expect to see that a lot of persons will still come all out, you know, to support the party yesterday.
It was amazing. In fact, what amazed the politicians yesterday on APC was not so much the crowd in the stadium, but the crowd on the way, on the streets of Lagos. Yeah. Those waving from their windows. Exactly. Those who were on the street waving. Those who were on the streets. Those who undertook the long walk, the what I call it, the long trek. You know, there was long trek, there was long drive. In fact, the long trek was probably more emotional than the long drive. This is what you call the spontaneous rally. It's not the one that was organized, the one that was caged, the one that was choreographed. This one came out of the visceral soul of Lagosians, waving and following and jumping and shouting and yelling and screaming and all of that. That itself is when you know what the pulse of the street is. You know, we saw that in Kano, we saw that in Port Harcourt, we saw that in Ibadan. In Meduguri. We saw that in Ibadan. We saw that in Oshun. We saw that in Meduguri. So we saw some political philosophers called political eros. E-R-O-S. So the emotion is almost like sexual energy. You know, translated into political expression and so on. People like Mike Okwoche, when he wrote a book, Eros and Civilization, saying that everything, even Freud, said that everything we do is a suppression of what they call the E, the ID. Well, all of it coming out on the surface to show a sort of explosion of desire and joy.
Right, Mike, how to manage the crowd? There are those who have said, despite the fact that we had this mammoth crowd, there was no stampede whatsoever. It seems everybody just managed themselves.
I think that's commendation goes to the local organizing committee, because they've been working on how to manage Lagos generally. Recall that the issue of traffic management, they had envisaged a situation like that, and they've been trying to ensure that that is managed very well. Recall that there was an advisory, a traffic advisory and a directory as to how people should divert, because they knew that there were certain routes that there was going to be a large turnout of people, and then it was going to affect traffic too. And all of that was envisaged. The planning was really amazing, and it tells you that we Nigerians have the capacity to coordinate and organize when they want to do it. And this is really is a pointer to the fact that the knowledge, despite the crowd, despite the seeming situation, on the ground, we have the capacity, Nigerians have the capacity to organize and coordinate any kind of crowd and arrangement anywhere.
Right. Then we'll talk about his speech, Sam. Yeah. He, you know, commended the president for what he has done so far and all of it. And then he also spoke about his running mates, how he was able to stand in the face of daunting security challenges to manage it at the time.
Yes. Since talking about the crowd, one of the most affecting one for me was the picture of some people in one of the BRT buses who almost jumped out of their windows. They're trying to acknowledge the motorcade and so on. Now, talking about his speech was very interesting. He revealed for the first time to public that he actually asked Buhari to nominate his running mate, which was a deference to him. It was what this person called Melembe. You know, you have to be fair to me. to you. Yes. So he said in 2015, you know, you asked me, and I suggested to you, Yemi Osinbajo, to become vice president. So I had to pay you in your own coin and say, okay, please nominate to me who you think I should be my vice president. And in a gracious manner, the president said, no. You know the political terrain. You know the people. I know who you can work with. Yes. You go ahead and make that decision. I think that was why when he chose Shettima, the president stood behind him. When some governors were saying, why did he choose this man? You know, because many of them wanted to be chosen. Everybody wanted to be chosen. Of course. So the president stood by him because the president had said, go and choose money. To the doings of Kashim Shettima in his days as governor, how he stood still. He himself visited Borno. Ashwaju visited Borno. And one bridge was named after Ashwaju in Maiduguri. We visited in the heat of the Boko Haram crisis. We were showing solidarity to Kashim Shettima as governor of Borno when he was there, and for his courage, for his tenacity, and his capacity to hold the state together in face of provocation. Remember that at one stage, they were just a few miles, that's Boko Haram, a few miles to the State House. And when I visited Borno, when he was governor, that's Kashim, he also told me how close they were, and he gave me a sense of how close those people were to the State House. And he was there. He didn't say, okay, like some governors do when their states are very quiet. They still stay in Abuja forever. That would have been an opportunity for him to say, okay, well, let me just stay in Abuja. I'm not safe there anyway. But he did. It was an act of courage. And in spite of that, you could see in the advert he did about the children who have no homes, so on, the orphanages that he created. He built lots of schools and lots of housing units for all of these people. And the most interesting thing to me when I visited Borno was that he had medics who were youth corpers. These medics who were youth corpers wanted to leave, but he said, no, we need doctors here. And they gave them special residence, and they gave them special security to, in order to...
All right, let's take a breather.